And first story for today, which we're going to take from the free PDF that you can get in the description below. This one, dun, 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 episode 15's own PDF that you can grab, which has got all of today's practices in and some little games so we can help learn the vocabulary. Is this obviously big news this week? Contentious meeting between Trump and Zelenskyy. Now, I should mention that we don't actually go through the full article, okay? We're going to go through the first two paragraphs here. But if you want to read the full article and all of the tricky definitions of the words that you maybe didn't get, you can grab it in the PDF. As I mentioned many times already, that's in the description below. But for now, let's go through the first couple of paragraphs, okay? Here we go. In a tense meeting at the White House on February 28, 2025, U.S. President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy clashed over strategies to end the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. The encounter, intended to bolster U.S.-Ukraine relations and discuss a potential minerals agreement, devolved into a heated exchange, culminating in President Trump accusing Zelenskyy of gambling with World War III. The meeting began cordially, but quickly escalated when Vice President J.D. Vance criticized Zelenskyy for debating U.S. politics in front of the media, labeling it disrespectful. Zelenskyy defended Ukraine's position, emphasizing the nation's resilience and need for continued support against Russian aggression. The confrontation intensified as President Trump admonished Zelenskyy, stating, "We've backed you far more than a lot of people think we should have." Okay. I've definitely said his name wrong. Unfortunately, I really apologize to the Ukrainian president for that if he's watching. But yeah, I should really double check the name pronunciations before we do this. But
it's tough though with names.
Yes, but his name is in the media a lot, so I should definitely. But as we go, obviously this is a tricky news story to go over, I think, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it's a big moment in the news this week. Let's have a look at some of the tricky vocabulary from it, though, yeah? So first word, maybe you can help us out with, is clashed.
Clashed. So, yeah, we usually, when two sides fight or argue against each other in some way, we'll call that a clash. And the verb is they clashed, you know. So
Clash
in this
of
case,
Champions, that advert that comes up.
Yeah, I was going to say, get us sponsored. Or Clash of Castles or whatever it's called.
We need the sponsor. Come on, bring in the money. Clash.
But yeah, clash is like, I mean, we use it in football as well. Yeah. You know, like
clash is a really common word.
With Leyton Orient or something.
And lost. Clash is a very, very common word, yeah.
It is. We use it a lot.
Isn't it? Especially in the media. But yeah, in this case, they clashed, they argued in this scenario. Encounter.
So, I mean, I learned this word from Pokemon basically when I was younger. Like you encounter a wild Pokemon in the long grass, innit? But encounter, to meet somebody or something kind of unexpectedly or almost accidentally. But an encounter depends on the context, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. You know.
Sure. Have you encountered anyone recently that was a bit suspect, maybe a bit dodgy?
Me other than you.
Apart from me. Okay, that's all right. As long as there's no one else. As long as I'm the only dodgy one in your life. Dodgy, by the way, if you don't know, means suspicious. Okay, someone.
Yeah, or untrustworthy or something like that.
Obviously, I'm extremely trustworthy.
Or bad quality, if you're like, this pizza's a bit dodgy.
Yeah, great example. You could even say your car's a bit dodgy, can't you? As in it's might not be
if it's not running well.
Full capacity, yeah. So dodgy is a useful word to know if you didn't know it. And then the next word is bolster. I think we've had this one before, but it's good to go over again because bolster is a tricky word.
To support or make something stronger, basically. Like, usually you'll see it in media where they bolster their, some kind of reserves. They bolster their defense spending or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah, government. We also use it for football. I think we did that example.
Bolster the squad or whatever. Yeah, by I don't know,
new additions.
Yeah, like signing a new player to bolster the midfield or whatever. Yeah,
spot on. We love our football references here.
Seems that way, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. Anyone could imagine it when they see two finely tuned athletes like ourselves. Okay, and culminate or culminating in this case.
This is a really interesting word. It's usually like the highest point of the drama.
Mm.
Like, if you think about a story, I don't know, Lord of the Rings just comes to my head really quickly. Like, Lord of the Rings, like the tension grows and grows and grows and grows and grows, and then it culminates right as they're trying to throw the ring in the fire. Like, it's like the high point, or the final stage of something.
Yeah, yeah, definitely the peak, you could say. We use it a lot
Yeah.
with soap operas, don't we? Like when it reaches
Yeah.
climax
Or even just like the result of a situation.
Mm.
Like, John did this thing and that culminated in this result. Yeah.
Yeah, but would you use it in spoken English, do you think, so much?
Not so much. Probably just resulted in is a bit
Or ended in
less
or something.
newsy. Yeah.
The peak, it
Yeah.
peaked at,
Ended up.
I think.
Yeah.
A lot more phrasal verbs instead of this more advanced
Yeah.
vocabulary. Okay, that's a great one. And then obviously the next one is cordially.
Well, see, for me, I say cordially because I can't pronounce it properly.
Cordially could be correct.
Yeah, with like a j sound, but because I can't pronounce that properly, to be honest. Cordially. Yeah, in a polite way, in it. Like you'll often see like you have been cordially invited to meet the king.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of situation. Cordially invited to the summer ball.
Sounds like
Or
it's
some
happened to you a
posh
few
thing.
times. That's why you know how to say.
Oh yeah, like every weekend, getting invited down Buckingham Palace and that. Cordially, obviously.
down. Get invited down to Buckingham Palace. Yeah, of course. Meeting up with the lads, yeah, William and Charles. Going out on the town. They would never be spotted. I tell you, those guys. They would never. No one even noticed that they were there if they went to the pub.
That's it. The thing is, we're all gingers, so we all fit in. You know.
I don't know about William. Can't tell, but Harry definitely.
It used to be before he lost
maybe.
it.
At one stage, yeah, at one point in time. All right, last one is admonish.
That's a good word. It basically means criticize, doesn't it? Basically mean, or to warn someone, like, don't do that. Like my mum used to admonish me for not cleaning my room.
Yeah, that's right. Admonish, to warn or criticize someone firmly. So, did you have many admonishments from your mum?
She tried.
She tried.
It went in one ear, went out of her.
She gave up in the end. She was like, "I'll do what you want."
She's like, "Oh, it's like trying to talk to a wall."
Yeah, sure. Yeah, again, another word. Another word we probably wouldn't use so much in spoken English. Yeah.
The word that I would use is a bollocking.
Give a bollocking.
Which is a good word.
Yeah.
For British people.
Yeah. Just to tell off, essentially. Yeah.
To tell off, to be shouted at.
Yeah.
To get a bollocking.
Bollocking is a good phrase. A nice choice.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do one more read through. We've gone through a couple of the tricky pronunciations here as well while we've been here, because obviously some of the tricky words have some of the tricky pronunciations. First of all, let me just give a couple of extra ones here. This potential, just watch out for that. I don't think that in this one, there's not many like American and British differences. In comparison,
no, I don't think so.
Usually pop up. There's usually quite a few. Emphasizing, always one that many people will have a trouble with. Emphasizing, rather than a full a there. For emphasizing, and yeah, most of them are the ones we just went through. Then maybe intensify might struggle for some people, but the rest are fine. Okay, but this is great. But let's have a read through then. Yeah, Dan, it's all up to you. You have the limelight, okay? I'm even going to take myself away.
Wow, just me. Cool.
Just you.
Right, then here we go. In a tense meeting at the White House on February 28th, 2025, US President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy clashed over strategies to end the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. The encounter, intended to bolster US-Ukraine relations and discuss a potential minerals agreement, devolved into a heated exchange culminating in President Trump accusing Zelenskyy of gambling with World War III. The meeting began cordially but quickly escalated when Vice President J.D. Vance criticized Zelenskyy for debating U.S. policies in front of the media, labeling it disrespectful. Zelenskyy defended Ukraine's position, emphasizing the nation's resilience and need for continued support against Russian aggression. The confrontation intensified as President Trump admonished Zelenskyy, saying, "We've backed you far more than a lot of people think we should have." Okay, good.
Absolutely wonderful work there.
Cheers, mate.
So let's have a little chat and then we'll do a quiz afterwards. So,
Hmm.
obviously, quite a big news. I should preface this to say that obviously we both don't think that Russia's invasion of Ukraine was the best idea.
Hmm.
It was,
That's the thing. The thing that I found most confusing about this, it's almost like victim blaming.
yeah.
That's kind of when I watched, I'm like, have they forgot who started it? Like, have they forgot which one's defending and which one's the aggressor? Because it seems like they've got it wrong way around. It's
Well,
kind of what I took from it.
if you watch the short clip, I would completely agree with you. Yeah, if you
Mm,
they have, unfortunately, the media, as we talk about every week, I feel like
mm.
the media does clip like certain segments out and make it look a
Out of
lot worse than it
context,
is.
yeah.
But it's not a good look either way. Of
No.
course, Trump's side. I watched the whole thing. It's like 40 minutes long. Um, you could see throughout Zelensky was kind of batting for his side a lot of the time, and
Yeah, fair
obviously,
enough.
I don't think it. I think we talked about last week with Trump not saying that Putin is a dictator. I think he's just trying to be tactful with his wording to get the deal done. Yeah. So I think similarly
Mm,
here, he's trying to be tactful in the way that things are going down. And I think they both have
mm.
points on either side. The US has funded a lot, and obviously Ukraine is trying to um, look after itself as well at the same time.
Yeah,
So
it's got to
both
end it.
sides have their
So,
points. But yeah, I think the way it broke down was not the best scenario,
no,
especially.
it wasn't a good look, was it? I mean, Russia must have just been like wicked, you know,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be honest. But the thing is like the thing that I'm not as well educated about this as you are, but it looks like America's like, all right, Ukraine, you're just gonna have to lose all this stuff and all them people that fought for it, like, too bad. Like all that war dead, like that's bad. But this is what we've decided, so you need to accept it. And
yeah.
Ukraine are like, well, actually, no. And now like, well, it's your fault. You're ruining everything.
I think
And
the way
that's
that
kind of how it looks.
yeah, I know, exactly. It does look like that, and I think the way both sides went about it, and mainly from the Trump and JD Vance side, I think that they went about it poorly. But
Mm,
they do have points. Like obviously, Ukraine doesn't have any money. The US has funded the
mm,
majority of the war, and they're trying to support, or they were in the past, should I say?
mm,
And then obviously Zelensky went in and was very firm on what he expects to get from it. And in a deal, I don't think you can be there's always
mm,
compromise in every deal, isn't there? Obviously, you don't want to compromise too much in this scenario, I'm
mm,
sure, but I think the US is trying to see it from their own side as well, in terms of
mm,
they don't want to continue the war and continually be giving him money to something that then puts them further in debt when they're already in a mess. So
mm.
it's a it's a putting a square peg in a round hole, they say, yeah. to a to a
But I
to a
think
to a point.
it's like that. Like America, I mean, the reason America got involved in the first place is because of like the situation. Like if this goes a certain way, what's next?
Yeah,
And it's kind of like preempting that. And then suddenly they've kind of been like, well, actually, we don't care anymore. Like
yeah.
whatever.
That is the side I'm not such a big fan of. Of course, it does seem
Mm,
like they're ju- they're just trying to look after their own, which I also kind of get in a sense. I think the biggest issue for the US is the fact that Europe is not putting in the same amount, and they're next door. So I think
mm.
that they want a bit of. I'm being a Libra here, you know, I'm just seeing both sides, of course, trying to see the
Oh,
best
that's
in
me. I'm
both.
a Libra and all, innit?
Uh,
October.
so it's I think that they want if I think if Europe raised the funds or did a bit more, this wouldn't even be that big a thing.
Mm.
I think that's what they're seeing. Obviously, America's meant to have the most amount of money, but they're in trillions of dollars of debt. So I think this is where we're coming to a big problem. Basically, the world has no money, and then
And
this
everybody needs more. Yeah.
to be able to continue this
End
war for
stage
sure.
capitalism, innit? Yeah.
Yeah, to be
So,
able to continue the war, I don't think it's really feasible for everyone involved if it was. And then it's like, how do you deal with the peace talk and
mm,
where are the concessions made? So it's a delicate matter, isn't it?
it's like we said last week. It's like, first of all, stop the war. Like, just stop people dying, and then we'll deal with the rest of it.
I think that's
But,
what they're trying to do. Yeah, but
mm,
obviously, and Zelensky's right. He wants security
mm,
guarantees. That's basically the
mm,
key. The interesting thing I learned from the whole thing, which you don't see in that clip, is that Zelensky mentions Russia and Ukraine have had ceasefires put in place 25 times.
Mm.
Yeah. And each time Russia has ignored the ceasefire and attacked again.
Mm.
Like
So
not
what makes
during
them
this
think
war,
that they're going to
before
do
the
it this
war.
time?
Exactly. So that I learned something really interesting there, I thought, and that's why taking the whole video in its full
Mm.
context, you then understand a little bit more about why each person is. I don't want
Like
to
the context
say
behind it,
stubborn's the wrong word, but they're very much battling for their side, in each thing.
Fighting their corner, yeah.
Yeah, and then the actual argument came from really a couple of stupid things that happened throughout the meeting. To be honest, there was a reporter who asked the question, why are you not in a suit? I thought it's such a stupid, like, elitist question.
That's the problem I have with suits in general, mate, to be
Unnecessary,
honest.
so unnecessary. I think he's even made it known. Zelensky's made it known he's not wearing a suit, obviously, because it's a wartime. You're not going to wear a suit during this period of time. It doesn't make sense, So
Yeah.
I think it just irritated him. And then the US was saying they wanted Zelensky to say thank you for it. For the
I
money.
saw on Twitter afterwards, he went and thanked every single person that supported him, like in the most passive aggressive way.
Yeah.
I loved it.
But like he has many times, So I think
but they wanted him to do it then because they said it, like,
and on
jump,
camera as well. I guess so. But I think it's a bit nitpicky, and it just absolutely diluted the whole thing, unfortunately. So
I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? It's a weird world, but hopefully.
I hope
People
they
put their
do sort
egos
it
to
out.
one side and we can get some resolution sorted.
Well, 100%. One thing I did learn is that Starmer seems to be trying to be on both sides. It's
of course he is.
You can't be like that. You can't be a person who's on both sides of this situation. I think it's quite difficult. Whether he's trying to find a solution.
You can't win, can you? Like, I mean, because I saw after this that Europe, basically everyone in NATO got together without America, but with Ukraine, and we're like, all right, let's have a meeting. And he's like, it's just,
I think that's
division for the sake of division. Like,
my personal opinion is that was an extremely stupid move because it's only going to push the US further away, and they need the money. So at the end of the day, so I understand why they did it, but
20% of NATO's money in it's from America.
I don't think it's clever, to be honest. You can do that behind closed doors. You could have done the whole situation behind closed doors, to be honest. But I think we know that everyone supports Ukraine. I think the US supports Ukraine. It's just
they're just not showing it very well.
They didn't show very well on this scenario, and obviously I think if Trump is the kind of person who's made like a promise for something, he doesn't want to show that he couldn't do it. So I think that's part of the argument that happened, to be honest.
It's his ego as well that's quite
it's
involved.
A little bit of ego getting involved. He wants the peace talks to go ahead and to show that he was the one who solved it, I think.
Yeah. So he can go down in history, but like, I did that. Yeah. It seems, I mean, in his first term, like he went to like North Korea and stuff like this. So he did seem like you were trying to get, these big historical things done in his name. Like,
exactly. Well, but to be fair, there were no talks about peace conversations before he was there. So at least we're having a conversation about it, so fingers crossed. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Fingers crossed.
I think that's the best way to look at it, isn't it, at the end of the day? Okay, let's go on to Article 2, which is a lot more something we can maybe celebrate. I don't know. We'll find out when we go through this one. It is. Did I press the right button? No. It is.
We're not having a quiz.
Oh, we are having a quiz. Oh, no. Game over. You sounded like Mr. Bean, all of the buttons are being pressed now. Okay, yeah. We will have a quiz first. Oh, no. What a terrible presenter. Okay, so here we go. It is quiz time. Dun, 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 dun.
Flawless.
Flawless, yes. One day this was going to be the most incredible podcast you've ever listened to.
But mate, if we just like no sell it, you can cut it out and edit.
Nothing happened. Quiz time. Okay, so let's see if you learned the phrases from today. One more time. Quiz time. Here we go. Let's see how many of the words you learned from today. So we have the first question, which is first statement. Let's see if you can get the gap. The two leaders during the debate over foreign policy, with both refusing to compromise. What are the potential answers, Dan?
So we've got bolster, clashed, cordially, and admonished.
Admonished, yeah, that's right. So we're going to give you 5 seconds to choose. Here we go. Okay.
I like the bump at the end. That was good.
Thank you very much. I tried my best. What is the answer then?
The correct answer is B, clashed.
Clashed, that's right. The two leaders clashed during the debate over foreign policy, with both refusing to compromise. Okay, let's go to the next one. Dan?
Right, there we go. The teacher, the student for not completing his homework. Yeah, blast from my past. Stu, what are the options?
They are A, culminating, B, admonished, C, encounter, or D, bolster. What do you think the answer is?
Got 5 seconds. Dun, 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 dun.
The theme of Rocky 10. Okay.
I think it was Street Fighter, to be fair, but all right.
Oh, okay, sorry. The answer is admonished.
Lovely stuff. So the teacher admonished Dan for not completing his own work.
There we go. A blast from the past, as Dan did say just then. What a crazy meeting. What did you think of it? Tell us in the comments. And we took some great terms from this article and some more from the article about the pharaoh find. Recently, they found a tomb of a pharaoh in Egypt, which is a crazy find. We took some great terminology from that you might not find in many other places. So be sure to check that out in this video here.